Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel and to World of Warship. Today I've been thinking to talk about the entire line of US destroyers and share my own personal opinion and talk about a little bit their strength, not their weakness, but if you consider you as a player, you consider to take this line, what you should expect and my personal advice, tips and tricks. So we are starting with a very usual or unusual destroyer. This is a reward ship USS Smith. And I have a really badass US Captain Steven Seagal. What do you know, also receiver for free. So ship and captain I received by playing this game and complete the missions. USS Smith is one fun bugger at tier 2, very fast rate of fire, very short range with very low HP and very pew guns. I do believe the main art are 76.2. That's very small caliber guns for a destroyer, but it is what it is. It's a pretty interesting, not a whole lot torps, but it is tier 2. Sometimes could be fun. Don't take this everything serious, but now let's go to the tech tree. Tech tree, at the first tier, a regular tech tree, we find the USS Sampan, not something special. The all from tier 2 to all the way to tier 6, you have very short torpedo range. You see 4.5 and 4.5, not something special, but what that is special, I'm talking about in general, in the all US line, you have the best smoke, which lasts much longer and employing the when you press start the smoke, it starts until it stops a lot of time. So in both way, from employing it all the way to your smoke is vanish, you have the long period of smoke. And of course I do urge you to use it a lot, and hell, you can even share your smoke with your ally and keep them alive, and while you and your friends are in the smoke can try to delete the enemy ships. This is how you're supposed to play all the way to tier 6. Not something special, you only play a couple games and then you're going to the USS Wicks. Now USS Wicks, it's a little bit bigger, kind of slow. Keep that in mind, they are not that fast. 34 knots, it's one hell of a slow destroyer in my opinion, really slow, and the range are not grateful. Okay, this has one okay range, but I did never bother to purchase this one because I want to go further. And you same have the 4.5 kilometer. Oh man, that okay, now you have 5 kilometers. Holy cow, 5 kilometers torps, that it's a huge upgrade versus 4.5. No, of course it's not something special. And over here you can see the flavor of the tier 3 and tier 4 destroy. You have 6 torpedoes in each side, which basically means, this is very important guys, you sell to to a corner. Let's say a battleships are coming close to an island, and you send, because you have a very short torpedo range, and then if the battleship are it's not dead, then you turn around your other side and send additional 6 torps. So it could be very effective versus close range. But remember, 4.5 or 5 kilometers are not something special, and you have to know how to play, because it's more or less YOLOing. If you just want to get ready, you don't have to speed to sail away, but you can abuse your islands and stuff like that. Or if enemy battleship are charging towards your smoke, kind of a slow, nothing too special. All you need is to go to the next ship, and what we have at tier 4, it's actually sorry guys, it's a ship that I already own. and I have 481,000 experience in this ship in the USS. Oh, sorry guys, I do apologize. I kind of need to put of camo, because camo it's important, otherwise does not look. Clemson, guys. Alright, what's so special about Clemson? There's few things kind of many people forget what Clemson is. You see what you see here? I'm talking about, look at the main armament. You see dual barrels. You have 2 over there, and in each side you have additional 2 and 2 at the rear, which basically means, folks, that if you're angled enough, you can always have 6 shells, 6 shells towards your enemy, and the only 6 guns destroyer in this line besides Clemson, it's Goering, top dog, the tier 10 US destroyer, the Goering. Now there's few things there, many even old World of Warships player kind of forget about the Clemson. Clemson's firepower versus any destroyer beside, it could be 50-50. I'm talking about Russian tier 4 and tier 5. But if you face something else, let's say Japanese or German or hell, I can even say the tier 5 Nicholas, you'll outgun it. What do you mean? You have each and every salvo can do as much damage if you trade shots. That's what I'm trying to say. You will nuke more or less any tier 4 or tier 5 destroyers. Probably once again the tier 4 and tier 5 Russians. It could go either way, but this is many people I consider they don't take USS Clemson as any serious destroyer, but I do believe they are wrong, because my own experience, this is in my opinion the best tier 4 destroyer in this game, tier for tier. There's no doubt about it. It's not because of the torpedo. Let's go to module. You have 5.5 kilometers, do 11,700 damage, but remember the same goes here. You have 3 and 3 and additional 3, but you have the best smoke, and you have definitely the firepower. So if you know how to play it, I'm not lying. I personally, when I play in the Clemson, if I'm not top 3 by experience, not by damage, by 3 experience, by the first 3, there I'm doing something wrong. I am there, first, second, or third. It's me, Zera channel, but I can definitely show you. It's a pretty high win rate for some skilled players. So for me, this is a keeper. Now let's go to the Tech 3 number 5, the Nicholas. Nicholas, it's alright rate of fire. She only has 5 guns. You still have those 6 torpedoes in each side. I kind of forgot, it was so long time I played the Nicholas. But Nicholas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns instead of 6, but probably they are a little bit bigger guns. They are 127 millimeters, and you have a fast turning 180 turning time, 12 seconds. Not bad, not amazing, but not bad. Reload 6.5 seconds. And same thing goes, you have the same 5.5 Clemson's torpedoes. And to be honest with you, this is the downside of tier 5, because I do believe all tier 5 destroyers, they have better torpedo range and better torpedo firepower. Okay, you have 12 torpedoes, but it's very few times you can use it. But because at tier 5, and this is the main problem with the Nicholas, you're gonna face tier 6, tier 7 destroyers, and they'll eat you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I repeat, a tier 7 destroyer will eat you alive if you're facing them. It once again is because of the matchmaking. When you're top dog, it's different story, but yeah, keep in mind that Clemson can still outgun you. That's the thing. So for me, it was not a keeper. I sold the Clemson. That's my personal opinion. It's kind of hard to do good in today's meta when you face in tier 7s. Now let's go to the next one, and that is the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh, guys, it's definitely a keeper, and what's so special with Pharaoh that it's a amazing, why I repeat, amazing range. I do believe with advanced fire training with this perk you can shoot at close to 15 kilometers away. That is absolutely, I'm not saying you're gonna hit anything, because the shells are going from Clemson's yeah, from you can see from Clemson all the way to tier 10. The shells go to moon and back. So ridiculous slow shells they are. It's of course a balancing factor, because otherwise this could be very good if they will have a Russian flat arc, because remember now at tier 6 you have 4 second reload time, and you have now for first time decent 6.4 kilometers. 64 knots are not bad, 64 knots are good, fast torpedoes, and you have 10 of them. So if you're in the smoke and someone charging you, it's kind of a bad idea. Don't do that, because Nicholas the Pharaoh might nuke you. That's the thing. And you have once again best the really good smoke, and the turning radius is 12 seconds. Okay. This, in my opinion, it's a definitely a destroyer hunter. If we are top dog, oh man, you don't ever want to open fire at this destroyer if you're another destroyer and not a US destroyer. Of course, you can argue that the Russian are still really damn good, but not so much Gnevny. Gnevny is not a big threat, in my opinion, versus Pharaoh. Matter of fact, if you're brawling 1 versus 1, I still believe that Pharaoh will win that engagement. So it's fun as hell, and if you know how to play this destroyer, I would even recommend you to take in ranked battle. It's pretty strong to use your smoke, your guns, and sometimes your torpedo. Torpedo are good, but unfortunately not that long range, 6.4, and that's the problem with the concealment of this captain. And have 13-point captain, the concealment 6.6, and torpedoes are 6.4. So 200 meters you have to YOLO in before you can send or use the island. So this is the thing. But if you, let's say, stay in the smoke and the enemy are coming towards you, then it's a different story. You can definitely use your torpedo. So they are a workable torpedo in some cases. That's what I'm trying to say. Now we are moving on, guys, and we are moving to the main hand. Main hand, for couple years ago, it used to be the worst destroyer in this game, by far the worst. Not so much anymore, because now finally, even though the concealment not that great, don't get me wrong, the concealment is 6.9, but if you upgrade your torps, you have 9.255 knots torpedoes, which are absolutely fantastic. And the most fantastic of all, it's the torpedo layout. You have, guys, 4 and 4, so you send 8 torpedoes, but if you can send your holes, turn your holes, you have additional 4, so 12 torpedoes at tier 7, yes please, with 9.2 kilometers. So you are definitely a hybrid, a gunboat and a torpedo boat at the same time. Many people, they forget about main hand. They do have the 3 launchers, which might surprise them, and they might be deleted. Let's say you send, those 8 torpedoes, and you turn your hull and send those additional 4. Well, if you only hit 1 or 2 torpedoes with flooding, well, of course the battleship will use the damage control. And if you send additional 4, well, even only 1 more flood and 1 more torpedo hit will delete that cruiser, destroyer, or battleship, or whatever. So yeah, the downside a little bit, it's that it's kind of a big and not that very speedy, and the concealment are kind of a crappy for the US. It's tier for tier one of the worst destroyer at, I'm talking about the detection. That's the bad things about this ship. Even Russian, I'm talking about the Leningrad, has better concealment, and yeah, the concealment and everything, because you're allowed you to allow you to do a lot of stuff. But with this bad concealment, and I still have the concealment expert on this dude. I do have, and it's still, and with camo and everything, I cannot have below 6.9. So that's what I'm trying to say, guys. So, but the good thing is, it's not bad torpedoes. The torpedoes are absolutely fantastic. Not they are the fastest, but it's the range I'm talking about. This is the first time you have decent range, so you can stealth torp and get the hell out of there. And of course, the range are not bad, 11.6, and I can what it's fire range 11.7. All right. I don't have advanced fire training because I don't think it's worth to have. Okay, at tier 8 we have, guys, one of the most popular destroyers, the Benson. But Sarah, you don't own Benson. Why is that? Well, personally, I believe if you're not playing rank battle, not rank battle, yeah, rank battle, you can say rank battle, or clans versus clans battle, this destroyer shines because of the smoke and okay-ish torpedo. You still have main hands, 55 knots, 9.2 kilometers. So even the, I don't know, upgraded one, they do more damage, I understand, but it's still same speed and same range. So it's not torpedo wise, it's slightly improved in damage output. So you can do 16,633 damage with those torpedo, which are not bad. I mean, they're hard hitting and very punchy. But the problem is still not an upgrade in range. Or hell, you even have fewer torps. You have 10, but you don't have like Mayhem's 12. So that's the thing, I still believe personally that you're never gonna believe what I'm gonna say. The Loyang, it's supposed to be the sister ship. It's supposed to be a painted Taiwan's Benson. That's exactly what it is. But in this game, the Loyang is by far much better destroyer. So if you have both, let's say you have US Benson and you have Loyang, there's no point to have Bensons anymore, because Loyang has all tools in the world to be a much better gunboat. But Loyang only have 4 guns, so what? Even though basically Loyang, it's a Benson with Sea Hull, which you see minus one gun. That's exactly what Loyang is. It has the Hydro and everything else. It's to take out your enemy destroyers and do very well. Personally, I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I do believe that Loyang it's much better destroyer than Benson, even though it's supposed to be the same ship, not in this game. Yeah, very sad. I personally believe that there's one reason why I don't own Benson and Nicholas. For me, tier for tier, they are not powerhouse. They are not, wow, what an amazing destroyer. No, they are a whole lot better destroyers, unfortunately. But let's don't talk about US Benson anymore. Let's go to tier 9. And tier 9, we have the Fletcher. Now keep that in mind, this is very important. Stock configuration, guys, Fletcher has still, I repeat, close to range and I'm talking about torpedo stock configuration. It's main hand for crowd out loud, with of course much more damage. So from tier 7 all the way to tier 9, you still have 9.2 kilometers, 55 knots. 55 knots, it's crap. I do urge you, if you want to have a easy time and not, you know, rip your hair off, save your experience for, but you need kind of first the B hull, and then you need a torpedo wall. Yeah, it kind of costs a bunch of experience, but it's still worth the big hull, and those torps makes this destroyer the best tier 9 destroyer in this game. And it's hard for me to say Zera, because in my opinion there are not any bad tier 9 destroyers. All tier 9 are badass and scary as hell. But what makes this destroyer, it's a definitely hybrid. Those dudes, they are so punchy as hell. 19,033 damage and 10.6 and 66 knots. And when you, let's say, when you're done and, you know, send your torps, and the torps, they'll hit, because still, you know, 10 torps is 10 torps, and they're fast as hell, and they're hard hitting torps. You pop the smoke and you use your guns, and with this broken, how fast they are, reload 3 seconds, 180 degree turn time, 5.3 seconds. Man, you can brawl with this thing. I mean, those guns, they turn like crazy. So to take out other destroyers, close range, and okay, I kind of forgot, detection. They have the same Benson detection at 5.8 kilometers, guys. 5.8. So you have plenty of possibilities, so you can send stealth your torps. And then when your torpedo are hitting your target, you pop the smoke and you use the goddamn guns and you burn that thing. What I'm trying to say, it's your enemy. You use your guns and you take down your enemy with guns. So this is personal opinion why this is such a good ship. You have all the tools to take out your enemy. And of course I have a really good captain in this one. I do believe 17 points captain, and this is my captain, Fletcher's captain. Preventing maintenance, last stand. I do have basic firing training, and of course this is very important, survival expert. And I have the concealment, and I highly recommend the radio location in this particular ship. Why? It's because of the stealth. And sometimes I already know and figure out where my enemy destroyer are, and I use my lovely destroyer torpedoes to send the radio position location torps that you send preempted before you see your enemy. And sometimes more than maybe 50%, or let's say 20 to 50%, I'll hit my target before I even see the damn target. They are so fast, those torps. It's hard to dodge, very hard to dodge. 66 knots, and they are punchy. I mean, they are not regular. If you hit one or two, you're definitely goner. You as a destroyer. So yeah, very strong. It's definitely a keeper. And at tier 10, guys, we have the mighty Goering. And of course I do have Goering. I do apologize, she's kind of an Aiken. Not anymore. A little bit downside with Goering, it has slightly worse detection, but there are some few things about Goering. I know she's kind of a fat, and she's kind of a, how should I say, not that agile as Fletcher. Fletcher's dodging torps are much better in my opinion than Goering. Goering, it's different ship altogether. Only has 10 torpedoes, but those torpedoes are just hilarious strong. And I know you might laugh that Zera, what kind of do I recommend? 16.5 torpedo range, 66 knots. If let's say 2 or 3 battleships are sailing close together and they are pushing Oh man, I don't believe that you'll hit, in best case, 3 battleship in one torpedo salvo. Seriously, it happened to me 7 times. But she is one hell of a destroyer to gunfight close range. I'm not talking about long range. It's because, guys, of of the fast rate of fire. You talk about 2.7 reload, and I don't even have the reload module because you don't need it. I'm talking about this one. I have the torpedo tubes module one. You can have, of course, this one, and it will increase 12% main battery load time, but you don't need it. It's stupid broken as it is. So yeah. So she's long range torpedo spammer and close quarter brawler that does not matter. Beside maybe Khabarovsk, you don't want to gunfight at close range, but otherwise she will eat destroyer for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's what I'm trying to say with this hilarious stupid rate of fire. I remember that one time I'm playing my Fletcher and I was coming too close to a Goering, and I'm not lying if I'm saying that Yamato beached himself to another island and we were in the Goering smoke. Me, Fletcher, and Goering took down from full HP, close to full HP Yamato to 0. We pumped so much shells, so it has burning, and we never stopped until the Yamato was gone. This is the pure power of 2 US destroyers working together, and we had a lot of fun. I know it's not easy to take down close to 100,000 HP pool Yamato, but it was not just us that was firing at them, but seriously, it was just like rain, from above with shells to that battleship. And this is also something else. You are a hybrid, and I honestly believe that they fulfill her role. Support your team with smoke and use your fast rate of fire to brawl and engage other destroyers. Keep that in mind that tier 10 Russian German destroyer has hydro and can take you down in your smoke. So yeah, you have to be careful versus all destroyer. Even though I do believe this has one of the fastest rate of fire of any destroyer in this game, you don't still want to engage the Russian and German when you are in your own smoke. That's what I'm trying to say. They can still surprise you with hydro and stuff like that. But in general, I do believe the line is worth, and you have a lot of fun. It's, how should I say, from tier 7 all the way to tier 10, it's more hybrid. You can still use your torpedoes and your guns in the same battle. You're not 100% torpedo boat or 100% gun boat. That's the thing. The US line is more or less a hybrid line, a line that I highly recommend. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, if you know how to play and you manage to see their weakness and their strength, because one of the weakness, it's actually the speed. The speed are not fantastic, but what it's fantastic, it's pretty good stealth and pretty awesome smoke and firepower. That's all I would like to say for this test tree. Thanks guys for watching, and always captains, fair seas and goodbye.